All right, guys. So we're going to start this off. This is Bicolor Colt's account. We are doing a full account review, full rework to help him get everything lined up the way that it needs to be to. There's a lot we can do here. Lots of things. Bicolor, I hope you have a pen and paper and you are ready because I've already seen a million things we can do too. So this is going to be great. It's going to be really good. I can't wait to see what your account's looking like over the next couple weeks. Hey, Chair. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna peep here too. We're gonna look at weapons. So your Ayaka has the right weapon on her. That's fine. Perfect weapon for it too. It makes sense. You have an R3 already too. Excellent job, and it's 80. Take it to 90. So the first thing I'm gonna say to you, Bicolor, is level your weapons. Your weapons are permanent. They're permanent upgrades. They're very important. All right. So take this to 90. Definitely. We're going to go over the rest too, but you have a bit of a mix. You've spread your resources very thin by leveling a lot of weapons throughout the time instead of focusing on specific ones. And usually that happens because you're not sure what to build, right? Like, and I mean, that's how it is for all of us, right? You're not sure exactly what you want to build. So you kind of build a mix of things and you try them out too, and you're not really sure. So let's try to fix that today for sure. So you have a lot of good stuff. You have a lot of good stuff. I definitely want to say that. Let's peep your characters, though, all right? So, you told me that your biggest goals for main DPSs are going to be Xiao and hopefully Cyno. And then you wanted Benny as a very big build for support, too, which is perfect. I'm all about that. I love it, too. And now that you said Ayaka, too, even better. Even better because it was already a suggestion I was going to make to you. So, on your Kazuha, this is not what you want on Kazuha, right? So, EM at 87 is not where you want to be on your Kazuha. So, I know you're using the weapon that came with him too. It's not really a good weapon for him. So let's switch you to Iron Sting. I would normally take your Fab Sword, but I think you need it for your... No. I'm going to actually take I'm going to show you why. So your Kazuha at this moment now has 153. You need your burst to be on cooldown on Kazuha. I don't even care what your EM is. You need to be able to activate his burst on cooldown. That's what's going to buff your whole team, right? So, you being at 153 now is going to get that done for you, right? So, what we're going to work on, too, and you did do a 4-piece VV, which I love. That's great. That's absolutely great. Man, it's okay. It's okay. So, we're reworking an account right now, guys. Remember that, too. So, we're working on helping him, not... This is not a rip anybody apart, and I won't have that in the chat at all, guys. This is a pure positivity. Let's help one of our fellow community members get his account better, too. You have a great account. You just need to focus on certain things. That's all. So, with that being said, EM is going to be your main goal on Kazuha. EM is going to be... Yeah, 190 is way too much. EM is going to be your main focus. Get it as close to 1,000 as you can. 140 IDX, exactly. 140 plus is great. You are literally going to... You're going to help your team so much more now. With 153 here than with the attack buff you had before too. Kazuha doesn't need the attack like that. He just doesn't. He doesn't. So it's okay. I understand the weapon looks incredible on him because it really does. But it is not good for him. So, well, with that being said, Mana, hang tight. Hang tight. So, I am all about having 4-star artifacts when it makes sense too, right? So a lot of these are a little bit mixed up too. You do have a 4-piece VV set, which means your Kazuha is totally usable the way he is right now. Ideally, even if you can get 4-star flat main EM stats too, you're going to want your circlet, you're going to want your goblet, and you're going to want your sands to be all EM on him. All EM, right? Don't worry about crit stats on him. He doesn't need it. He is, unless you really want to build a crit one, and you shouldn't do that until C6 anyway. So focus on all EM. That's where we want to be on Kazuha. That's how he's going to assist your team, and he does so much damage. It's insane. It's insane. So another important thing is you're going to need to 90 your Kazuha. You need to 90 your Kazuha. So we're not going to focus. Here's the thing I want to say is I don't want you to focus on artifacts right now. That's not what we're going to do. What I need you to focus on is going to be your ascension levels, your weapon levels, and your talent levels. These are your permanent upgrades, okay? So Kazuha and any animal character does more damage at a higher level, right? So you want to 90 your Kazuha. No brainer. You totally want to 90 him. I know this wasn't like one of the first characters that you mentioned too, but you've already built him. He's built more than a lot of your characters are too. So I'd imagine you do like him, and he is one of the best characters in the game. So, Imavetti, what's up? Welcome in, welcome in. Guys, that warm welcome going. So, with that being said, too, we can move past Kazuha. Let's leave him on Fav Sword right now, too, to make sure you're always getting your bursts on cooldown. So that way, you're getting all your buffs out of everything you have, right? So this is, I know that's not your main priority right now, too. So let's just kind of keep it as, I want you to get 3 main stat EM stats on him. Even if you don't level it right now, that's perfectly fine. You can do it through the strong box, too. So in the end of this, we're going to run some domains. We're going to do some stuff. We're going to figure out what makes the most sense. And I'm going to kind of show you exactly what I'm talking about, too. So that way, it's not just me telling you. I can actually show you where I think your next move should be and how you should do it. All right? So let's peep it. Benny was the other one that you really wanted to level. Now, do you know how Benny's attack scales? Jail Merrill, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Bicolor, do you know how Benny's what's it called? Do you know how its like ability works, how it scales? Because not everybody does. Not everybody does. I'm a Benny, what's up? Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Bicolor, I need you to talk to me, bro. I need you to talk to me. I mean, I can just tell you on this too, because and for anybody that doesn't know there too. Number 9? What? Okay, so Bicolor, the way and for anybody out there that doesn't know this too, is base attack is how Benny buffs your team, right? So that's gonna come from weapons, right? So what we're actually gonna do on your Benny is we're gonna switch him to Alley Flash. This is one of the highest base attack weapons that there is in the game as a 4-star. I think it is the highest base attack for a 4-star. So, you're going to want to level this all the way up. I'm not going to do it right now, too, but this is what's going to help buff your team a ton. Now, I noticed one other thing, too, when I was on here before, too. You do have your 4-piece Noblesse, which is perfect. That's the only set that makes any sense for him. But, you also have an ER piece here. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch that and we're going to build it. And the other stats do not matter. Benny needs HP, he needs ER, that's it. He's a very simple build. Very, very simple build. So let's take this up because you're going to need more ER, especially with losing the other ER weapon, all right? No, thank you for letting me know. Because it's all different YouTube videos, it changes every time. Yep, you know, perfect, exactly. So, Benny matters most. Matters most. Like, it really doesn't even matter what the substats are here, too. If we get crit, cool, that's fine. It doesn't matter, though. That's not why we're building him. Hydrate and a stretch, let's go. Dark, I'm doing fantastic, bro. How are you? How's that, guys? I turned it down, so that should be better. Bico, you're okay with me taking full reins, just doing what I need to do on your account, right? What's nice about this is the other stat that comes with it doesn't matter. We're not worried about it. We just need to get your energy recharge up, so your main stat's what's most important, and it's on set, so that's great. All right, we got a little bit out of it. Let's see where we're at. All right, way too low. We got to get more. We got to get more. But that's okay. Yep, all you. All right, cool, cool, cool. Now, all right, so talents. Looking at your talent, and let me look at Kazuha can use all talents. That's okay. Benny, though, don't ever raise this again. You don't need any more of this, too. It does nothing else for you, too. This is going to be your bread and butter right here. I personally have crowned this one myself, and this one's at about 6, I think, for me. Fantastic Voyage is the single most important skill on Benny. We're going to take it to 6. It's going to make a big difference for you. All right. So, Benny, overall, your main goal is you need to be over 200 ER, which is what we're going to be looking for, too, and your base attack as high as possible, right? Everything else doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter that much on him. It's okay. He's there for support. HP as well you want to for healing, but that's about it. So if we were to peep this, let's say... That would actually be great. If we were going to disassemble your Kaching, but... This is a good piece, too. Heavy, heavy HP on that. Definitely worth 20ing, too. This one, 100% worth 20ing. And that's defense, so that's not really helping you at the moment. So, that's okay, though. That's okay. Wait a minute. Yeah. We want some more noblesse pieces. That's what we want. Okay. All right, cool. Benny is fine at where he is right now, too. AR-52, so brand new account still. Brand new account. So, Zhongli, let's check out, too. I know you made him full shield bot. He's 29,002. 1673, and energy recharge at 104. So, artifacts are really going to be a big thing for you here, too. But it's not what I want you to focus on yet. Your goal needs to be ascending your characters. 80 out of 90 is fine. Certain characters you can take to 90. Kazuha is one of those that you can take to 90 for sure. Benny's one of those you can take to 90. Zhongli can stay 80 out of 90 as well, too. So that way you can save some resources. Weapons on top are going to be your second best friend. 90ing a weapon, it doesn't mean that you can't, it's not just going to help this current team, it's going to help whatever team you want to put it on. So it's a permanent upgrade that works really, really well. So if you want to run Black Tassel, if you want to be a just straight shield bot on your Zhongli, he does have Fav. He does have Fav. This will be, if you went Fab Lance, it'd be more of a benefit to your team, and you'd be looking at more of your bursts on cooldown, right? Now, with that being said, though, you would need to make up for it on HP, on other stats. So I know you already got a 4-piece tenacity, which is awesome. That's the right stat. That's the right stat for sure. And this is HP too. Let's see. Okay, perfectly fine. Okay. Well, it's what you have right now, and it's perfectly fine for what it is. I'm good with that for what it is. If you can get an HP piece here too, then you're good. You can get rid of your Black Tassel. You can get rid of your Black Tassel, you can use Fab Sword, or Fab Lance. And this is overall going to be better than the Black Tassel. So right now, it's going to reduce your HP a lot too. But if you can get an HP main stat circlet on him too, it's going to work really, really well. He just needs HP and ER, right? Hey, attack helps his damage, but if your crit rate and crit damage isn't at a suitable place, then it's not going to matter anyway. All right? So, Omega underrated. Full shield, what crit rate? Hat for energy? Is it? Yeah. Yeah, sure. You would need rate. You would need rate, though, with it being a fav. With it being a fav, so. You should go crit rate on this one. Because for Fab Lance, you're gonna need to be able to crit. So that one will be worth going crit rate on him too here, and then just focus all your sub stats on HP. You know, if you can get yourself an HP main stat piece here, perfect, absolutely perfect. Your HP is helping a little bit here too because you rolled pretty heavy into it. But a main stat would make a big difference. I'll definitely say that. So I know these aren't the main characters that you wanted to work on right away. So let's move on to. But I want you to consider something too. I see that you balanced a lot of your talents. On Zhongli, unless you're going to use him as a main TPS, you do not need a single talent level here. So don't waste any more there too. These are going to be the two that you're going to focus on him too. Leave that at 4. There's no reason to touch it anymore. It's completely fine. In fact, okay, let's go one more level. All right. Yep. Cool. All right, so Dendro Traveler. You have leveled your Traveler. You've ascended him all the way up to Dendro Traveler is an amazing character to be using. It's okay with the EM set right now too. I think eventually you'd want to get something like this, like a Fab Sword on him too, because he does have a higher energy cost. But you are going to need him, especially for your Cyno team. Cool, cool, cool. So, artifacts on this too, I would say Deepwood Memories is pretty good. Deepwood Memories is going to help you overall with that too. If you're farming that set, get a set on them too. It doesn't need to be crazy. Just a 4-piece set is going to help you a lot for sure. You do have him C1 right now too, and then talents are 1-1-1 across the board too. Don't worry about his normal attack. Again, Q is really going to be the most important thing here. That's what's going to help your team. So, Sapwood for Traveler, yeah. He can use that passive too. Exactly, exactly. Cool. So, now let's get to the characters I know you really wanted to. Xiao with being the first one too. I love that. Xiao needs to be ascended 80 out of 90. You do not necessarily have to level him up all the way, though. All right, so you're not swirling with Xiao, so it's okay for him to sit at 80 out of 90, but you are going to get a crit rate scaling on him when you ascend him too, so that is worth it. Weapons is a white tassel right now. Make this 90. When I was looking before, I don't think there's any better weapon choice for you at this moment. I think white tassel is probably where you got to be, honestly. I would take this. I would refine. Doesn't even matter, actually, honestly. This is going to be a total temporary weapon for him. Missive Wind Spear is also a possibility. Actually, this might be the one. Dragon's Bane, yeah. But Dragon's Bane isn't going to help Xiao. Because Xiao's not swirling. Danny says hi. I don't know. Let's go see. Let's go see. Let's go to the crafting table. White Tassel is gonna be like your real budget primordial Shadewing. That's not what I need. That's not what I need. Let's go see. Well, no. Why can't I actually see what it is? That's messed up. I don't think there's anything else that makes any sense. I don't think it makes any sense. There is no 5 stars. Doesn't have any 5-star weapons. So, I think Xiao White Tassel is really, honestly, your best option at this moment, too. Keep getting the crit rate up there. Your goal is going to be to keep going on this, too. You're totally going to need damage. And then artifacts are going to come last. I'm not really too concerned about your artifacts right now because you need to focus on other things first. So I don't think we even need to think about that. Having these 3 skills on a similar level is good too, definitely. Prioritize normal attack over everything else. I'd take them 666 across the board and then prioritize normal attack up to 9 first. Then maybe move to your burst, and if you want to go back to your E after that, that would be the way. Right, exactly, IDX. I think so too. I think having that crit rate is going to be essential. So... with you having Xiao, that makes the most sense to me. Alright? Ayaka. Ayaka, you have the right weapon on her, too. Looking at these stats does not tell us the story of what it is that we need to do. Animo Kaguchi is a perfect weapon for her, too. It's already 80 out of 80, rank 3. 90 it if you're happy using Ayaka. I love Ayaka. She's incredible. You are going to need a 4-piece Blizzard on her, too. It's the only set that works for her, really, for the most part. So, you can strongbox that, though. But we'll come back to that later. And I don't think she should be your initial priority, but I do think that if you want to do the Abyss, you should have a good freeze team. And Ayaka is going to help you do that. And then we can peep this too. I mean, Burst and E are important. Every single one of her stats are amazing on her. Every single one. So, I mean, you prioritize Burst always. Then E, then normal. That'll be your route for Ayaka. But I don't think that she should be your priority yet, given everything you said to me so far. So, let's take a look. Your Cyno is 36 out of 40. You do have some Scarabs, which is fine. You can always farm them. You can always find other ways, too. Looking at these stats doesn't make a big difference at the moment. You are using this, which is okay as a weapon for him. It does make sense. It'll keep buffing his attack, and which is fine. I mean, that's how he's going to get more damage, too. So, A 2-piece Deepwood Memories and 2-piece Gilded Dreams. I'd go 4-piece Gilded Dreams if you can. Otherwise, Thundering Fury. But if you are farming this domain, then go aim for 4-piece Gilded Dreams. That's where I think you want to be. Here, don't level this even once. You can level these two. These two, when he uses his burst, this becomes completely obsolete, and all of his damage happens during his burst. So, leave it at that too. Skip out the stat entirely. You do not need to equally level most characters. Yeah. We'll get to team comps coming up soon too. So, other units I've seen too. You have Beidou, and you have Beidou C1, which means she's going to get a shield. She is very worth leveling given the team comp that you are looking for, and we'll go over that again soon on the details on that. 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate is going to be really your bread and butter on that. With you having this, Prototype Archaic is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Honestly, maybe Rain Slasher. Maybe Rain Slasher. Given how the new set works too with all the elemental reactions, that could be okay. That could be okay. So, this would be a 4-piece Emblem, but I'm not saying for you to do that right now. Emblem is usually going to be a big go-to along the way, though. So, these stats can be equally leveled, too, because it doesn't matter too much. I wouldn't go overboard on your normal attack, though. But let's focus on the ones I want you to focus on first, all right? Sucrose. Very, very important. You already have your Kazuha built. Sucrose is going to be your next one. Does Ayaka ever need EM? Not really. What? Dude, Ayaka totally needs EM. I mean, she's amazing on her normal attacks too. But Sucrose, you already have kind of built 4-piece VV, go the whole way on her. It's why when it comes time for you to strongbox, I think that you should go VV for your strongbox. Sucrose is another one of those characters that should be taken the whole way up to 90 as well. She's going to work very good for a lot of what you have. You need to save these books in R5, this weapon. These come with almost every single wish. You're going to get one of these pretty much too. R5 this weapon immediately. Make 2 copies of them R5. You can leave it level 1. It doesn't even matter. This weapon is so good. It's so important. So, you'll be at 48% attack buff when you're switching off characters for this too. So, I'm going to show you what the Kazuha, or the Xiao team is that I recommend for you. And this book is going to be essential for it too. Any more wishes you do, you're going to end up popping across this book. So just make sure you keep an eye on it and refine that thing. It's so important. 4-piece VV on it too. Perfectly fine. You have C1, which means that you're going to get a second charge, which is great. And then here too, you can kind of build these as you want to go. Right now, I wouldn't focus on your normal attack because the team I'm looking at is not going to be an on-field DPS. But there is value in that in the future as well, too. But you can do your E and you can do your Q. So, next one is basically a 5-star character. You have Xingqiu. You have him C4. You have a Sack Sword. This character needs to be built. This character is so essential. No, Spar, she doesn't necessarily need him too, but it does help. Take this guy to at least 80. Take him to 80. All right. When you go to the Emblem domain, 4-piece Emblem is going to be good here as well too, which is why I am going to recommend that to you pretty early on. Don't worry about his level 1 right now unless you're using him as an on-field DPS for different teams than what you would actually use right now. So you're going to focus on your burst and then your E second on him. He's going to work on so many different teams that he needs to be built. And you have Sack Sword and you have it R2. So it's very, very worth it. He needs a lot of ER. But when your Sack Sword is fully built, which is what I'm telling you to fully build these things too, that's going to help your ER cost. And then you're going to want to use an ER Sans on him too. Once you get it, or if you have enough to get to 200 ER, that's perfectly fine. That'll work. 200 ER is great on him too. You really don't need much more than that. I'm not going to talk too much about her, but I do think you should eventually build her. And let me show you the comps that I was talking about, so that way you can kind of get an idea on where my thought process is about things. So I opened up a few teams. So for Xiao, given the way that you have your account built too, this is probably perfect. This is absolutely perfect too. Sucrose is going to group everybody too. Zhongli is going to protect you. Bennett's going to heal you and buff your attack damage with Xiao. So rotation would literally be Zhongli E, Bennett Q, Sucrose EQ, whichever she has to. Switch to Xiao because Sucrose is going to have Thrilling Tales on her too. So that'll give a 48% attack buff to your Xiao. And then you're going to be Xiao as your main DPS. Does that make sense? Yeah, tell me, bro. Like, does that make sense? So Sucrose always has to be the character that you use before Xiao. Right? So drop your shield with Zhongli to keep everybody alive. Drop your Benny Burst to up the damage and keep everybody healed. Then you're going to Sucrose to group. So Sucrose's E and her Q are going to group everybody together. Then you're going to switch to Xiao. Xiao's going to get a 48% attack buff, which is huge for him. So he'll do a ton of damage with that. So that would be a prime Xiao team for what you have right now, right? So it involves you building your Sucrose more. Your Zhongli should be built more too. And we'll go over like a recap of everything and what I think your next plan should be at the end too. But Ascensions, weapon upgrades, and talents are the only thing I want you to focus on. Forget artifacts for now. See this. So Ayaka has, this was the first option right here too. So we have Ayaka, we have Xingqiu, so that is a freeze team for you too. We have Diona as your second cryo, who will be your shielder and your healer. Xingqiu is going to help you do some damage resistant and as well as heal you also. And then you have Kazuha to swirl the whole thing. So ideally on a team like this, what you're going to do is you're going to run your, and this involves a lot of building. This team totally slaps, absolutely. So this would allow you to run your Xiao team and this team on the Abyss, right? So you'd have none of those characters are overlapping, that it would work fine. But it does involve some good investment. Diona just needs HP, that's fine. You can do healing bonus if you want, because she's going to heal as well. But HP overall is good. Sackbow, which I know you do have, is perfect on her. Absolutely. Your Xingqiu needs to be built. He is that good. He's going to help you freeze. So essentially the way that you would run this team is Diona E. You should hit another E because she has such a high chance of proccing Sackbow. So double down on that too. Kazuha Swirl. Diona sucks right now, but Diona can get really good really easily. She doesn't take a heavy investment at all. So the only problem with Diona, I do want you to consider this, is this is probably going to be the only team you'd be able to use her on from the teams that you said you wanted. Now, it'll run amazing on an Ayaka team, though. It will do really well for you. So, but you would essentially apply Cryo with Diona, get your shield up, swirl with your Kazuha, switch to Xingqiu, apply Hydra like that too, go to your Ayaka, E, attack, burst if you can too. Everything's going to be frozen at that point. So ideally with you have to fit in normal attacks, which Ayaka is perfect for. That's what she does. She does cryo normal attacks as long as you dash, right? So you do that, you have a perma freeze team that's going to absolutely wreck. You know, you have a grouper, you have a shielder, you have a Hydra applicator that protects you and heals you too. And then you have Ayaka. So it'll work really, really well. Now, other Ayaka option could be this too. So if you like Rosaria more, you could build her too. She's going to help you with some crit rate. This is going to be a little bit tougher of a team. This is one Jesse recommended to me as well too. Because Ayaka is so in the face of everybody, Barbara works here. She works here because you're going to be applying Hydro to everybody because Ayaka's right there. You're going to be grouping with Kazuha to bring everybody in, and you're going to have a perma freeze team here as well too, where your Rosario will do more damage as well. So this is another option. Xingqiu is obnoxious. It's crazy. When you build your Xingqiu, it's ridiculous. So, Bart, this is an option here, too. It does involve you building some more characters, too. No matter what, by color, at this point, you're going to need to build some characters. So, figuring out what it is that you want to build is what we're looking at today, and then we can come up with a full plan for it. All right, so, you do have your Dendro Traveler built to 82, which is great. Your Kazuha is close. We'll get his EM stats up too, and he'll start completely slapping. An amazing team though is Cyno, Beidou. You have a C1 Beidou I saw before too, so you can get the shield off it. You can have your electro application triggering aggravate with Dendro the whole time. So you drop Dendro on this too. You're gonna swirl everybody together too. Beidou, Cyno, main on field too. And from there, too, you're going to be reacting constantly. And your Cyno's going to be protected with Beidou's shield as long as you build her enough. Kazuha displaces everybody, so you get an extra second, too, off that. Usually, for a Cyno team, you're going to need a shielder. But in this case, your Zhongli's already taken, and Diona will ruin your reaction, so you can't do that. So that's where Beidou's going to help a lot here, too. Kazuha's going to knock everybody down, too. So that would be, given what you have, your best bet for Cyno. We also have this option, too. If you feel like maining a slight different account and you can give up your Zhongli, you can run Cyno, Fischl for extra damage, too, and huge energy particle regain. Fischl's a total savage. Zhongli to make everything invincible, and then you would be running your, what's called your Dendro MC for reactions. So you're looking at your aggravated reactions, too. His Dendro application is better than anybody else in the game at this moment. So, that being said, those are going to be your two options for Cyno. But if you go with this one, you're not going to be able to run two teams in the Abyss. So, it all depends on what you want, though. And it's not to say that you shouldn't actually have this team at some point, because I would. I mean, this is almost the exact same team that I run on my account with my Cyno, so. But my big recommendations would be these two teams if you're looking for Abyss hunting. If you want to build up your big heavy hitters that are going to do well overall. Xiao, Sucrose to group, Sucrose to buff, Zhongli to keep you alive, Bennett to heal and to buff your team. This is a slam dunk team. This is going to work really, really well. So your Sucrose doesn't need a whole lot more either. You just need to, every single time you wish on a banner, watch for throwing tails, and you need to keep those, and you need to refine it to R5. And make 2 of them. Make 3 of them if you can. Like, it doesn't, like, it's a weapon that it's one of the best weapons in the game, and it's a 3-star weapon. It's crazy. Xingqiu E does not, alright, saying this before too. So, with that being said, though, if you were to go to your Ayaka team here too, which you have a great weapon for already, works great. Xingqiu works perfectly fine with Ayaka because you need to do normal attacks. Ayaka is a normal attack dealer. As long as you are going to dash, you're going to be infusing your weapon with cryo, and you're going to be doing normal attacks with her too. Diona is going to give you cryo res, she's going to give you shield and healing, and then Kazuha is going to bring everybody together and buff the whole fucking team. So this team is cracked. This team's totally cracked. My big recommendation would be these two teams. Would be these two. To get started on, I know you want your Cyno. I know you do. Don't even need to build Throwing Tails yet. You could literally leave it at level 1. Exactly. Jesse, great point. Your Throwing Tails doesn't have to be touched, because the only thing that matters is the actual buff from it. Dash normal charge for it. Yeah, exactly, IDX. That's exactly right. So, and you have a C6 Ayaka too, so you're an Ayaka user as well. So, Bicolor, I know you took notes on a lot of this, guys. Let me just do this too before we'll hop off and move over to mine too. I think you know what to do at this point. Your Xiao is 80 out of 90. Leave it at that too. Start working on your Ayaka as well. Your farm is going to be, right now, is for weapons. You're going to start with weapons. Your Benny and your Xiao are both pretty leveled at the time too, so it's not too bad. Start with focusing on your weapons. I literally put the weapons that you need on each character on them too. So build them all to 90. Those are permanent upgrades that can be used on anybody. They're always good choices. After that, talents on a lot of characters to at least 666, but read their skills or ask me if you're not sure, because Zhongli, unless you're going to use him as a physical DPS, he does not need any normal attacks, right? So that'll save you some Mora, that'll save you some time, save you some resin, right? This I definitely do want you to work on too, because I think that'll help you a ton in the Abyss, and we'll start getting extra primos from it too. You can start wishing for more stuff. So I did put everything the way it needs to be. Focus on weapons first. 90 your weapons, all right? 90 your weapons, then talk to me. We're going to work on talents, then we're going to work on ascensions, and then we're going to go to artifacts at the end. All right? But otherwise, you have amazing characters on your account too. It just needs a little work. It just needs a little guidance. That's all. So thank you for sharing with it. I appreciate it. And I do hope that this helped a lot. You and I will stay in touch about it too, and make sure that we can move forward on it.
Hold me get up. Time is